Madam Chairman, I am pleased to yield 4 minutes to the gentleman from South Carolina, Chairman of the Energy Subcommittee, Mr. Duncan.
The gentleman is recognized for 4 minutes.
I thank the Chairwoman for her leadership on this bill. The Lower Energy Cost Act is a product of countless hours of discussion between leadership, stakeholders, and our constituents who are tired of higher costs for less reliable energy. The United States has an incredible energy potential. We have vast resources of oil, natural gas, and other critical minerals essential for energy dominance. Only a few years ago, we were a global leader in both oil and gas production. This was achieved through American innovation, domestic energy production, and investment from the private sector in developing our critical energy infrastructure. Unfortunately, the Biden administration vowed to wage war on American energy. Starting on his very first day in office with the help of the Democrats here in Congress, the Biden administration have pursued radical rush-to-green energy policies that have made energy less secure, less reliable, and more expensive for our constituents. This has led to increased cost of energy and goods, hitting the most vulnerable the hardest. We should be about increasing the standard of living for Americans versus diminishing the standard of living that these anti-American energy policies actually do. Energy is the foundation of everything in American life. When the cost of energy goes up, everything else does as well. H.R. 1 should help America and will help America produce more, deliver more to our communities, and give us the ability to export to help our allies around the world. The American people recognize this, and they're sick of choosing between paying their energy bills and putting food on the table, which is why they gave us the majority to stop this radical energy agenda. I'm proud that my bill, Protecting American Energy Production Act, was included in this package. This provision will protect energy security and affordability by prohibiting the president from imposing a ban on hydraulic fracturing. The discovery of natural gas through the shale revolution has made the United States a leader in energy production as well as emissions reduction, has allowed America, the United States of America, not our adversaries, to set the price of energy. We are approaching the breaking point in our energy infrastructure. The so-called rush to green agenda has prevented the build-out of natural gas and other essential energy infrastructure, which is now reaching capacity. Many states, like my own state of South Carolina, are now at risk of approaching an energy deficit in the next few years if we don't immediately change our current regulatory framework. Fortunately, H.R. 1 addresses these concerns by requiring states to raise legitimate water quality concerns for interstate pipelines and LNG export facilities through FERC's NEPA process instead of weaponizing Section 401 of the Clean Water Act to block pipelines. This change is critical to prevent the political agenda of states abusing Section 401 to veto projects of national significance while preserving the ability of states to raise legitimate water quality concerns. New England states could finally get gas from the Marcellus Shale instead of importing natural gas from Russia, Iran, Venezuela, and a lot of our other adversaries around the globe. We have the resources here not only to meet our domestic demand, but also to be a leading exporter globally. Representative DeGette mentioned earlier about the capacity and U.S. production and how that would limit available gas for American domestic energy production. But I tell you what, the Progressive Policy Institute is far from a conservative think tank, put out an article, The Climate Case for Expanding U.S. Natural Gas Exports, and it talks about using that domestically. I'd ask you to read it. So this package also sets a framework to export our domestic resources so our allies will no longer have to rely on Vladimir Putin's energy oligarch for their energy. Democrats keep calling this the Polluter Over People Act. This couldn't be further from the truth. The reality is that the energy policies put China, Russia, OPEC Plus, and radical Green New Deal interest over the interest of the American people. The greatest beneficiaries of their policies are the CCP and Vladimir Putin. Green New Deal policies leave us totally dependent on China for critical minerals that make all of our devices work, even the green energy devices, wind and solar, need those critical minerals. We have them here. We harvest them cleaner, more environmentally friendly than anywhere in the world. So let's produce them here, and that's what H.R. 1 allows us to do. H.R. 1 puts the American people first by unleashing American energy and securing our supply chains. It will increase American energy production and restore American energy leadership in the world.
Has expired.
I urge my colleagues to support, and I yield back.
The gentleman